Well, I had something odd happen the other day that I was wanting to talk about. On Easter Day, I decided to stop by the Dollar General store before I was on my way to one of my granddaughter's birthday parties. Now, I set my sunglasses between the two front seats of the car on the console like I always do, and I went in the store and I lock my car every time I go in somewhere. When I came back out, I unlocked my car and I got in the car and I could not find my sunglasses. They weren't where I'd put them. So I looked and looked and looked, and for 2 or 3 days I've been looking for those sunglasses and I cannot find them anywhere. So then I noticed when I looked at my camera, when the garbage man came, the garbage man came, and then a minute later on it looked like there was no garbage truck on the film. And then a minute after that, the video had the garbage truck again, which I thought was, well, there's a glitch in the camera, which is probably what happened. Well, also, another thing happened is when I looked on my camera, because I had taken a picture of my granddaughter at the party with her friend photobombing her picture in the background. That picture wasn't on there, but I had came home and took a picture of the Zapp's potato chip bag that I had taken a picture of because I thought the bag looked kind of neat. And that picture was on there, but the other picture wasn't. So, and I saw the flash and everything when I had taken the picture. So I don't know, a lot of glitches on my phone going on, which may or may not have anything to do with the sunglasses disappearing. And I don't know if there's anything to this or not, but I started investigating why objects might disappear and how come a person can't find them. The disappearing object phenomenon, DOP, refers to situations where items like keys, jewelry, socks just vanish from an enclosed known space, often right in front of the observer. And frequently, they'll reappear later in a place already searched, or sometimes don't reappear at all. While commonly attributed to distractions or forgetfulness, which could be the case in a lot of cases, but I honestly have looked everywhere for these sunglasses, and I know for a fact these sunglasses are not in the car. Some speculate that this phenomenon, by what I've read, may be a glitch in the matrix or an interaction with higher dimensional space. Signs and scenarios of missing objects, which is also called DOP, are the vanishing of things from secure locations. Small items, like I said before, keys, crystals, lighters, disappear when placed in restricted areas with nowhere to hide. Then they just reappear at times, or not at all, like I said before. And object can be dropped sometimes, and the sound of it falling is heard, and yet it cannot be found despite immediate searching. So, reappearances in known spots of items that reappear later in a location that was previously checked, from what I read, are quite common. Or in a place that it would never typically be kept. Then there's the dimensional shift theory. It's theorized that if 4 or more dimensions exist, then objects can move between those dimensions through paths. I'm speculative on things, but I'm open-minded as well. So I'm open-minded to the fact that things could move through parts perpendicular to our 3D space, possibly causing them to appear, change size, or vanish in our reality. When there's the intense emotional connection with things too and objects, I think, and with all that energy on the objects, in my opinion, especially items that are loved, I'm I'm open-minded to the fact that the possibility of these items disappearing or being moved by strong emotional energy or spirits associated with a deceased person can happen as well. And then there's the similar physical and scientific concepts like the missing energy and gravitons and particles in physics, experiments at the Large Hadron Collider search for missing energy that I investigated online that could indicate particles escaping into hidden extra dimensions. And then there's also the 4D shadows. Much like a 3D object casts a 2D shadow, or a higher dimensional object might appear to us as a 3D object that shifts shape or size, providing a possible analogy to disappearing objects. Parallel realities was something I looked up too. Some individuals, according to the article I read, speculate that objects falling into another dimension or parallel reality and returning later is a potential explanation for this phenomenon, which I want to investigate this more, and I may make another video about these. But also there are possibilities of common explanations like psychological factors, absent-mindedness, stress, or possibly divided attention, which at first I thought that's what had happened when I got in the car and I couldn't find my sunglasses. I thought, oh, maybe I'm just stressed out, or maybe they're in here somewhere. But and this one makes a lot of sense to me, but after searching and not finding these sunglasses, then I started to think differently. Some suggest that intense environmental events like vortexes or sudden air movements can cause items to be misplaced. Then there's people's belief systems that it's possible for an item to go missing and enter a spiritual realm or another dimension. Now, I'm open-minded to this theory, but I want to have more proof of this before I totally accept this theory. This phenomenon is often referred to as disappearing object phenomenon, DOP, or a glitch in the matrix, which I'm very open-minded to this possibility, but at the same time, I would love to explore this one more before I came to a decision. I'm one that I like to find proof. So here is my breakdown of the spiritual perspectives on this phenomenon. Interdimensional and spiritual shifts. I'm thinking that objects, I'm open-minded to the fact that objects may be able to phase in and out of our physical reality and into a spiritual or higher frequency dimension, making them temporarily invisible or absent, or maybe there's a possibility of an object coming back or appearing here, or the possibility of an entity or spirit intervention. I'm open-minded to the fact as well that spirits and elementals may borrow or move items for mischief, or just to communicate, or maybe just to get our attention, or maybe to try and let us know something. Also, around Samhain, some people pronounce it Samhain, the veil is thinning, and the veil thins during certain times of the year. And that's when the physical and the spiritual realm is believed to be thinner, which I believe is true about the veil, because around times when the veil is thinning, I can feel this, and I can only vouch for myself, because I can't speak for other people, because some people may not be intuitive to feeling the veil thin. So this, is just based off of, my own opinion. Now, another thing too is that I believe that As the veil increases, the chances of items being moved into the spiritual plane, if they are in fact going there, could also be more apt to happen, in my opinion. I believe that energy and emotion may be involved in this. And items, particularly, personal jewelry, can store energy, making them susceptible to being moved by spirits who interact with that same energy. Now, these are just ideas that I have thought about. And also from a spiritual perspective, maybe this may occur with objects leaving or coming back to teach lessons in detachment from material things, to encourage mindfulness, or encourage people to be present or more in a moment, or to promote maybe self-reflection on one's life or balance, or maybe the possibility to just let someone know that they're around, like a spirit or someone else. Things, from what I understand, can reappear also, or an object that a person's never seen before appears. And often these items appear in strange, unexpected locations, or even in their homes, or back in their original places, or sometimes days or months later they reappear or appear. What should a person do when an item goes missing, in my opinion? Well, I have heard that you should ask politely for the item to be returned. And that's what I've done with the sunglasses. And I will let everybody know if the sunglasses reappear, and if so, where, or where I found them at, if I find them. Many beliefs, in certain aspects, religious beliefs maybe, or just spiritual beliefs, are that it's the work of the fairies to return the items, or as they often just want to be acknowledged. But most of all, my advice is don't panic. Fearing the situation can give it more power. Stay calm and focus on gratitude or love. And I also recommend maybe leaving a shiny or small offering to entice spirits to return a lost object. While these experiences that people report often in spiritual communities, in my opinion, sometimes it's just simple forgetfulness or selective attention or a trick of the mind, which I believe can take the fact that things can disappear and that the spiritual realm or something else is involved. I've been open-minded to this, but now I'm really investigating and even more open-minded about it because of my sunglasses. Because I know where I set them, and I know the car door was locked, and I know that they're gone. And again, everything in this video is just my opinion. Let me know your opinions below, or if you've had anything similar happen in the past and what your thoughts are about it. And yeah, I'll make a future video more about this in the near future. But thank you for watching, and blessed be.